So good morning and welcome to this week's video. Back firmly on UK soil after our short trip to Copenhagen, a lovely city break. A little bit fraught on the preparation for it, mind you. The week leading up to the trip, unfortunately Denise's camera, Sony 6400, developed a fault, and it was just no time to see about getting it repaired, to have it insured, so we're going to try and sort that out in the next few weeks. So it was a case of, I'll do a timely upgrade really. So we've gone and picked the A6700, which you can see size-wise as an APC camera is. It's with the 70 to 350 lens, pretty much gets me the same reach as my A7 IV. But compared to the 6400, there's some pretty good upgrades. The tracking is much superior. It's taken a lot of the A7R5 features, which means that the tracking, you can track birds, animals, insects, planes, cars, so it's pretty good. But also, which is quite interesting for me, it can track in video when you're using clear image zoom, which is something you can't do with my A7 IV, so that's going to be something that I'm going to be pretty interested in. But in Copenhagen, went to the zoo there, thought we'd give it a good try out on the animals, tigers, lions and the like, and massively impressed. So for photographs, gave it a real good workout for the week that we were there. Denise certainly appreciated the advanced AI-powered autofocus and the slightly larger grip to accommodate the batteries which are used in my A7 IV. So my view here now, once we're back in the UK, is to give the video a bit of a workout. So I've tried it in the back garden, looking at the 4K 100 frames, which means you can slow it down 4 times. There is an additional crop. It's certainly not as good a quality. I've noticed a little bit of noise as well when it was sort of fairly, my back garden unfortunately is not that bright, so I think it's going to be a limited use case scenario for that. I'm sort of quite excited really to see what this camera can throw up, because I think if nothing else, it's going to give me a bit of an idea of what potentially the A7 V, when it comes out, could be like the upgrades that it could get. Well, let's see what comes. The 6700 has the same sensor as the FX30 cinema line cameras and has the same dual base ISO when shooting in S-Log3, this being 800 and 2500 ISO. As it was just after dawn and still low light conditions, I started filming in 25 frames a second and the second base ISO of 2500. And despite the viewfinder being slightly smaller than the A7 IV, I found it really quite enjoyable to use. These reeds here, they were so badly affected by the seawater when the tidal flaps failed last year, so to see them making a sort of slow recovery is a big bonus, and fingers crossed a few of the bearded tits might be still present. Working my way along the stream towards the building that stopped to film these lapwings, sandpiper and godwits. This time I returned to the lower base ISO of 800 and increased the frame rates to 50 frames per second. This gives me the option in post to slow the footage down half speed when editing. Walking along the footpath toward the building, I again used the same settings. This matches my normal setup on the A7 IV. The main difference, I guess, is the A7 IV downsamples from a 33 megapixel 7K sensor, and the 6700 downsamples from a 26 megapixel 6K sensor. Looking back along the stream gave me the opportunity to test the clear image zoom. So my 600mm lens on APSC is 840mm. With the clear image zoom, we're now up to approximately 1200. And then add to that a crop of 1.5 times in post. That's really quite impressive. And even at this distance, the tracking of the redshank just worked really well. Continuing with the half-speed footage, this night was certainly being unusually showy. Showing such lovely colours and working its way past, well, what is another sandpiper. Moving towards the southern end of the reserve, this linnet conveniently perched itself on the fence rail. Initially, I was still in 50 frames per second, but as it seemed really quite happy to stay perched here for a while, I changed to 100 frames per second. Keeping the tripod in the same place and not moving the focal range, note the crop. I was amazed that after my initial sort of back garden test, it seems, in better light, the image is, well, really quite impressive. Slowing the film down 4 times, you really do get a pleasing aesthetic. And with my opinion of the 100 frames a second improving, I carried on with this setting. I love the way the water slowly ripples the egret's reflection. Working my way back towards the car, the final test this morning was with these adult and juvenile starlings. I really do think that I'm going to be using these settings more and more. Well, I think that's it for today. It's getting to about midday. Sun's getting pretty bright. Wind's picking up a little bit as well, so I'm getting heat haze and sort of shaking on the lens when I'm right out at a distance. But first impressions, really pleased. Obviously, once I get it on the computer, be able to see how crisp it is, how it compares to my other camera, the A7 IV. But initial impressions, really, really good. But I think, yeah, definitely going to keep using it whilst I can, when Denise is not using it for pictures. But overall, really pleased. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a big thumbs up, like and subscribe. And as always, great for you to join me in the next one.